Hey, what's up, guys? So today I'm going to CanJam, and I think that's going to be a lot of fun, so I'm going to be doing a little vlog, so stay tuned for the rest of the video. So this is going to be a bit of a different type of video. This is going to be a little bit of a vlog. I'm at CanJam in Dallas, and this is CanJam 2024 in Dallas. So yeah, stay tuned for the rest of the video. Now I do want a disclaimer that most of the headphones I tried in this video, and while I was at CanJam, it was just a few minute listen, so these aren't reviews or anything. This is just my impressions of most of these headphones. So yeah, I'm just going to run through a few of them that I tried. So I tried the Austrian Audio Composer, and it sounded very natural for a headphone of this resolution. Reminded me a lot of the HD 650 or 6XX, and it kind of sounded like, if I had to explain it in other words, it sounded like just a Super HD 650, something like that. So I tried the Aria V2 Stealth, and it sounded like an HE1000 that's a little sharper on some notes. That could be the amp or the DAC that I was listening to it with. And it was also the widest hi-fi egg-shaped headphone that I can remember hearing. Soundstage really signed on the right music, but the bass was not as good as the Aria Organic, and the resolution was lacking compared to something like an HE1000. But this is probably also the least smooth of the Arias that I heard. I also got the chance to try the Aria Organic. The Aria Organic sounded more mature than the V2 to me, and had a bit better bass, and the highs weren't as sharp as they could come across on the V2 Stealth on some tracks, but they could sound a bit constrained in the soundstage compared to the V2. The headphone was also lacking resolution compared to the HE1000s. I also tried the Hi-Fi Isa Varna, whatever, the hybrid, the new one. It's a good EDM headphone on my first impressions. It was lacking naturalness for most genres, and I also was told by the Hi-Fi rep that I probably need a more powerful amp than the one that I tried it on, and it could have a bit of wonkiness in the tuning sometimes, but that was what I thought of it on first impressions. Also tried the Hi-Fi Vina. I don't know why Hi-Fi has these weird names. I can't pronounce a lot of them. But I was told these were tuned with soundstage in mind, and that I may not like the tuning. They weren't the widest closeback I've ever heard compared to something like an HD 820, for example. They're a bit wider. But the tonality was a bit wonky for me, and on certain tracks it sounded correct. But that could have been because of how long I listened to them for, because I listened to these a bit longer than some of the other headphones. I also tried the HER10D. Mostly, it was just a better HER9 to me. Not much more to say, really. Similar tuning here. It's just what you would expect from a Hi-Fi closed dynamic. It just was the HER9, but a bit better. That was my first impressions of it. I tried the Aria Unveiled. Again, this sounds like more natural V2. The bass presence wasn't as much as the organic, and I say the soundstage was probably somewhere between the V2 and the organic, but I couldn't really tell. I never felt like it was closed in at all, but I still feel like the V2 was the widest of the three Arias that I did try. I also tried the HE1000 Stealth. To me, it had more resolution than all of the Arias, maybe a bit less smooth than the organic and the Unveiled, but I could be making that up because it's hard to tell on the show floor. I couldn't tell much of a difference from the Hi-Fi HE1000 V2, to be honest. I don't want to say something I didn't hear, so that was what I was hearing my first impressions. There's maybe a bit more certain higher notes on some EDM, but I would have to hear them again next to the original HE1000s to be able to tell anything for sure about them on the amplifier I'm familiar with. Also tried the DMS Omegas. They had a good natural sound, and they had good bass, and they came across a little dark though compared to some other brighter headphones like High Vimans, for example, or something similar. I didn't hear any major issues. Vocals sounded good on first impressions on something like Post Malone or something like that, but I also don't know if other vocalists sounded as good, but I just listen to this for a few minutes, so yeah. Also got to try the Focal Bathis, however you pronounce that. For me, it blew the XM4 out of the water for the most part. The ANC was not as good as the XM4, and the sound was not as bloated as the XM4, but it still sounded like a Bluetooth headphone. Not as good as their other brother, the Celesti, but that's wired, so this was a good Bluetooth headphone nonetheless. Also tried the HD620S. I noticed a lot of clamp force on first impression when I put these on. They're good for a closed back headphone on my first impressions, but not a lot of soundstage like most closed backs. Not much to say about them, to be honest. Just sounds like a closed back in the price range it's at. So me was a bit mid, so I don't really have much to say about the 620S. So I also tried the HDA20S. It's still the widest closed back I've ever heard. It wasn't as natural sounding as I remember it being from the past, but for a closed back headphone, it was still pretty natural. I know a lot of closed back headphones like hi-fi or something wouldn't sound as natural as this, but yeah, I am kind of nitpicking here. I think it was pretty good. So I hope you guys enjoyed the different kind of content, the vlog style of content. I usually do that kind of content on my channel, but I did go to CanJam, met a lot of cool people, tried a lot of cool headphones, and if you can make a trip to one ever, they are worth it. It's a lot of fun, and so fingers crossed I can go to the one next year again in Dallas. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for more content soon. I'm going to keep trying to make more reviews and stuff, so I'm going to try to post more often if that's possible, because I have a lot going on in real life. But yeah, stay tuned, and Hope you guys enjoy and watch more of my content.